Hey everyone, Waddler-D. We're back for a new Let's Play, and it won the poll that I was hosting last month, beating Resident Evil 4, the original version, and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which was in third place. It was like pretty much a neck and neck kind of finish, and I really love this introduction cutscene just to get you all ramped up and ready for what's to come, because you already know what this game is. I just like how much of a presentation boost it's gotten here. Like, we didn't have a storyline to get to discuss, and we also didn't have a frickin' Koopaling popping out of nowhere and Toad trying to be a frickin' absolute boss, but unfortunately Toad does not have contact damage attached to his sprite, so he's too busy writing a letter to Princess Peach and screaming his head off. Peach is pretty concerned about this, and Mario, well, you know what Mario's going to be. He's going to be courageous little plumber guy that pretty much has been around since 1980-ish. And Luigi, hesitant, saying, this is a one-player game, right? I mean, I don't have to go out... Yeah, I guess I do. There is a two-player mode. But nevertheless, this game is one of the greatest Mario games of all time. Except that it's on the Nintendo Game Boy Advance. This is Super Mario Advance 4, or to most people on this planet, Super Mario Bros. 3 for the Nintendo Game Boy Advance. And the reason why I'm playing this version of the game is for a couple of key reasons. But I will say one thing. It's not for the voice acting, and it's certainly not for Mario Brothers, which you can play on the All-Stars version of Super Mario Bros. 3. But this one has 4 players if you happen to have 4 people with 4 Game Boy Advances able to be in the same room together with the cable. Kind of a tricky cause, but this is the main meat of why we're here, and there's some extra goodies to talk about for Super Mario Bros. 3. Thanks, bros. So this introduction cutscene is actually pretty damn awesome. There's the fact that we get slammed into Super Mario Bros. 3. One thing I have not been able to understand, though, is why is Luigi trying to kill Mario? Is he trying to get his own game? Unfortunately, Mario forgot that shells go on a... This pretty much screen is on a wrap, so he embarrassingly walks himself into a corner and cries for a bit. But this is definitely one of the best Mario games out there, and purists will probably say this is the greatest. I'm pretty much on the camp of, yeah, I actually did have a save file. Let's just explode this bomb. I love how the music just goes away. It's like, are you sure you want to commit this atrocity? Yes, because I want to start over. But before we even dive into the main game, let's talk about this particular world, World E. The reason why I wanted to play this version is because of these 38 levels. And the thing is that when you were to play this game on the original hardware, these would all be blank pages, because you would have to play a game called Nintendo Has a Peripheral, and it also has cards to go with this said peripheral. And as a result, you have to basically spend life savings to get these now, because they're pretty damn rare, and Nintendo's not going to be generous enough to re-release the game in such a format. Or actually they are, because the Wii U version and the Nintendo Switch Online version includes all these freaking levels, so you don't have to break the bank. You just have to spend maybe $30 extra on a Nintendo Switch Online, because if you didn't buy it on the Wii U, well, unfortunately, there's no chance anymore. And no, I'm not going to talk about the P word, but I'm going to be dealing with these levels much later, and thank God I don't have to deal with this whole menu right here, because that's just going to drive me bonkers. Alright, go back to the return title screen, say hello to Super Mario Bros. 3. And yeah, there is a Mario and Luigi mode, but it's not as special as you might think, like compared to earlier versions of this game, or earlier Super Mario Advance games. However, I will say this world map is timeless. Like, the overworld in Super Mario Bros. 3 is actually genius. I mean, granted, it's simple, but it's also incredibly effective. And It all starts with you going to 1-1 because you have no other choice. And one thing I will have to say, playing this game after doing Super Mario Maker 2 feels kind of weird because I don't see guys stacked on top of one another, nor do I have the whole logic that, hell, you have pretty much all the tools at your disposal to make your own Mario game, so to speak. But one thing I have to say that's great about Mario Bros. 3 is this damn thing. The Raccoon Mario, whenever you find a damn leaf in the box, grab that shit because you will be pretty much experiencing one of the best power-ups in Mario history because it's one of the most balanced flying power-ups in the series. Like, it's not that broken compared to, say, the cape in Super Mario World, which you had a thing that could keep you aloft for the entire freaking stage. Yeah, here you just have to pretty much press the A button for dear life, keep Mario sending upward, and then you'll either run out or you'll land where you need to land. Not more to the point, I do like that you can grab shells for the first time, because they kind of took a page from Super Mario Bros. 2, and it's like, you know what would be kind of awesome? Maybe that Mario could actually grab stuff and toss it. I appreciate that, because not being able to use these shells the way that they're probably intended to. I mean, when you have a thing like this, you want to have a weapon. And of course, I like this nice little thing to showcase that, yeah, you're technically on stage. You're technically performing a play. So just go off the stage and grab yourself a nice little panel, because these panels can prove to be very valuable if you match them all up. Now it's Luigi's turn, and before you're thinking, oh, so that means Luigi's gonna have crappy traction and jump twice as high as Mario? No. Mario and Luigi jump about the same freaking height as before. However, this level, 1-2, introduces slopes, and also these damn pipes that are filled with your favorite enemy, frickin' Goombas. So be careful around the pipes, because I know Super Mario Maker 2 has traumatized me with these damn things, where enemies are just popping out of these pipes like no tomorrow. But slopes are what make Mario kind of great these days. If you don't feel that's the case, just remember the time where everyone complained about their missing in Super Mario Maker, and I certainly was one of them, because why would you skip on one of the best features, one of the core aspects of a Mario game that's pretty much been in it since Mario Bros. 3? That just kind of confused the living hell out of me, but thankfully we have them here, and we have all sorts of other things, like the fact that you can butt slide into enemies on said slope, killing everything, not to mention the sacred star that give you an actual somersault acrobatic kind of style going on here. Pretty damn solid efforts all around. And Luigi, you have disappointed me, sir. What the hell is this fire flower doing in your panel? Didn't hit that bottom left-hand corner of that box. It's a shame. But one thing I will say is, not only did Super Mario Bros. 3 introduce slopes, Super Mario Bros. 3 also introduced secret exits. And granted, they are not all that secret, or, oh, why that happened there. Yeah, I'll tell you what I'm talking about. I was like, also will tell you that taking damage kind of sucks in this game, but thankfully it's not like Super Mario Brothers bad, where if you basically go back to small at any and every time you get hit. One thing I will say though, playing this game after playing Super Mario World was quite a trip. Like, I actually grew up with the Super NES and didn't have the luxury of playing this game on the original system. Speaking of secret exit, it's right here. Because the only way you would figure this out is you would basically understand that there's only one white block in the stage, and you would just want to run back here behind the stage and talk to this creepy ass toad with his messed up smile. I don't know why they gave him smiles. I rather prefer the Super Mario All-Stars version, but this is a damn good item. This is the warp whistle. You should know what the warp whistle does, but for those that don't, you can skip worlds now. It's freaking great. Now, Luigi, show off the wonderful Toad House. And what you do in a Toad House is pretty simply pick your poison. You can either pick the left, middle, or right. I'm going to go with the left. I won. Because sometimes you'll get a mushroom, which is basically the booby prize of these houses. Like, oh, great, you can be big again when you're already freaking big. And I recommend you go to every one that you find because having more items is better because you can use them on the world map, turn all big, or when you pretty much lost a life, get right back into it and take on the next challenge. Unfortunately, this next challenge is all about auto-scrolling, one of the speedrunner's most favorite features in any platformer. The fact that the screen slowly follows Mario and or Luigi about, and then you have to deal with all the nice construed challenges ahead of you. You did not need to do that. You did not need to go off on the left side. There's one thing that kind of bugs me is like when you hit a block, you're thinking the thing's gonna go your way, and it's like, nah, I speaking of not going my way. Luigi, can you get some better luck going on here, bud? I will say though that this is certainly the least offensive of the auto-scrolling levels, but whenever you hear this theme, the athletic theme, you know you're going to be in for a rough time, because that means you're going to be just surrounded by death pits, usually have to deal with some precision platforming, and more importantly, yeah, the panic that just instills upon your heart if you're not really comfortable with platformers. Thankfully, that one's definitely the easiest of the bunch, and Luigi, you are really not hitting that freaking all-star lineup right now, bud. What the hell is this? Flower mushroom? Don't feel too bad for Luigi. I mean, he'll be able to make it up because Mario can just do this. Yeah, here's a pity life for me, bro. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't say it like that either. But anyway, if you're feeling like you're hurt on extra lives, you can talk to this shyster right here, and you can deal with one of the worst minigames ever. At least one of my least favorite. If you do it right, that's great, but if you don't do it right, well, oh, do not even drum roll with me and put me on frickin' watch here. Game! See? I had a chance, and my heart was pitter-pattering, and it's just like, you know what would be great? Screwing you over. That happens a lot. And now, the first fortress of the game does not have Bowser chilling out in it. It does have freaking lava and Podoboos trying to kill you. But one thing to consider is what could possibly be in said... Missed my firebar already, but these waffles, these neon waffles, dangerous. Don't touch them. They are not full of carbohydrates. They're full of adrenalized death, so be mindful of that. However, if you get to this point, you have two options. You can either take the top route, say hello to another warp whistle, or you could be like me and take this door, because I'm not going to be doing any warping. I just want to show or tell you that it's up there. Because we gotta meet the master of this fortress and say hello to him. I mean, it would be kind of rude to just come on by, break the castle in two, and just take its goodies in the attic. Instead, I would rather go face to face and say hello to our lovely residential mid-boss. Boom Boom. Unfortunately, Boom Boom is pretty bad at his job. All he does is just run around. Sometimes he might get a little aggressive and jump pretty much 2 feet or 200 feet in the air. And then when you get him down to 1 health, he's like, you know what? I'm just pissed off. I'm going to pound your face in. Give him enough time, he might get back on his hind quarter or is pretty much on all fours. You can actually do that, right? No, I guess you won't. Too bad, bud. That could have been your only defense. But yeah, Boom Boom's a pretty sad joke of a mini-boss. You can basically jump on his head all 3 times before you can actually have a chance to move. Kind of depressing, but it is what it is. Luigi, it's your turn, bud. You're going to have to talk to that hammer bro that's blocking the way. Because you all have these enemies just running around the overworld. And a hammer bro is one of the most feared enemies in a Mario game. Unfortunately, this hammer bro has not understood the whole weakness thing that he has, where if he pretty much jumps on a high ledge, full of breakable blocks, he's kind of dead at that point. But if he's not generous like he was there, he might have some issues. Or when he actually has another brother with him as backup, could have problems. Now, one thing I love about Super Mario Bros. 3, this level. Ah, damn it. Such a damn good theme. I love the remix that they done with the overworld theme. Solid work. I also like the fact that you have water that you can jump out of now, and more importantly, just kind of part of the level to add some, add some more flavor to the whole matter. Pretty damn solid first cave level, but sadly a little too short. But I'm gonna love hearing that theme again and again over time. Yes, good job, Mario. Get one more star for me, please. That would be perfect. Now, one thing I have to discuss, one thing that has to be absolutely discussed is the things that Super Mario Bros. 3 did. Just knock the platforming world on its ass. And that was adding actual platforms that did something other than do the lateral and vertical movements that you would expect out of these things. Instead, have platforms on rails. That's pretty damn dope back in 1988. Because this game was actually released kind of with a weird staggering effect. Like, for one thing, and that's not a good way to start that. No. Give Luigi that damn one up, please. Yeah, the fact that the this kind of came out in Japan 2 years before like any other region on the planet, kind of mean, but at the same time, Nintendo was pretty much helmed very much in Japan. They didn't even think about the whole worldwide exposure just yet, but now it's pretty much a worldwide release where everything has the same thing or gets it at the same damn time. I love how we pretty much globalize that. But man, it's so weird to have this like pitch perfect game at some extent be re-released or be released pretty much 2 years after its initial start. All right, let's check out this other Toad house. Maybe get some goodies. I'm gonna go with the left. I just got screwed. I got the booby prize of the bunch. Yeah. If you get a mushroom from a Toad house, consider yourself a little unlucky. It's usually the worst power-up in the game. But once you get through every level, or you just want to make a bullet shot to the castle, get to speak to Toad. And he's panicking. This is unlike you, Toad. You need to get your SMB2 style back into this freaking this castle, bud. But essentially what he's just telling us to do is beat the boss, get the one! Yep, I'll do that. I also like the fact that you have a nice cutscene in that you wouldn't see in the NES, I don't believe. I could be wrong, but the NES had a really big flashing problem when it came to this background. And I'm really glad that we have a nice, awesome looking backdrop. But more importantly, this is the first of 7 Doomships that you're going to have to be contending with. And this is a pretty easy one compared to the rest. Like, this is basically just a nice tutorial section. I don't know how the hell I didn't get smacked upside the back of the head there, but these things are easily one of the best parts about Super Mario Bros. 3. The fact that you have a, well, I guess the auto-scrolling could go away, but damn, just solid introduction to the first of several bosses you'll be taking on. And Larry is our first Koopaling. Yeah, he just basically is jump and shoot guy. You hit him, he sometimes jumps up in the air, and you hit him, he jumps in his shell, and then jumps around the room, and wow, you're a little aggressive little asshole. But 3 hits is all you need. If you happen to have a fire flower and actually is smart enough to use it, unlike myself, you could take him out with 15 fireballs. But once you get the nice magical wand of legend, Mario just takes it back down to Earth, and then we say hello to the king, and Toad will probably not be screaming his head off anymore. Well, maybe screaming his head off for a different reason. And one thing I have to say about this king, he just reminds me too much of Luigi at the moment. Did Luigi just decide to take his place? Yeah, actually in the back, Mario. Don't worry about him. And of course, when you beat a world, Peach is trying to keep in touch, asking what's going on, giving you a warning of things to come, and also gives you a damn good item. And the P-Wing, I think, needs no introduction to most of y'all. Best item in the game that's not a cloud. I will have to show you what this thing does. But unfortunately, we are running out of time. But when you complete all the levels, you do get this nice screen. Otherwise, you'll just say, clear. Good job, bud. But perfect clear just has a nice ring to it. And of course, it gives you a chance to save your game. Something that never was really an option in the original Mario Brothers. I think or Mario Brothers 3, you actually had to play through the entire game, start to finish. And the warp whistles were basically your save state or your save data. But now that we're in the desert, things are going to change. So I'm going to leave it here. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to give a thumbs up. And if you're looking for more content, always hit that subscribe button, because it helps me out and it helps you out as well. Not financially, though. I don't care about the money. It's all about the videos. So, hope you enjoyed it. Adios.